What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for you guys. I'm going to be doing an in-depth trade recap. Today is January 13th, 2026, and I will be showing you guys today's trade, why I took it, and how I took it. Before I do get into that, I wanted to ask you guys to let me know in the comments below. Do you guys want to see only wins being recapped, or you also want to see my losing and break-even trades recapped as well? Now, also, in the description, I will be leaving a link to the Discord where I live trade every day, Monday through Friday. This trade was taken live like most of my trades. And I will also leave it linked to my indicator, as you can see on screen, the Enzo Trades 2025 model indicator, which plots all of these levels that you see on screen. And as you will see today, was my entry model as well as it is for most of my trades. Third and final thing I will bother you with is there is a top right link and also in the description for my last YouTube video. If you haven't watched already, it's a demonstration showing you my entire model in depth. And if you haven't watched that, that might help you gain context to what's going on today. But without further ado, let's get into it. So pre-market today at 8:30, we had CPI news that created this very volatile move up and created this bullish fair value gap. We had also taken out previous day high during this move, which made me a little bit bearish, and I really wanted to see some lows get taken. Now, off of open, I was actually bearish, thinking we would fill this data move and potentially lower, and then I was going to take the longs back up. But we ended up actually opening pretty bullish here, as you'll see, and rallying up high. So at this point in time, I'm waiting for us to take a high and then inverse, or create a lower high and then inverse, and that's exactly what happened. So right here is where we create our new high. This candle right here is where I started to say, okay, guys, I'm starting to look for shorts. Now, it's too early to get into shorts because we don't have an inversion yet, but we do have a bullish fair value gap right here and a bullish fair value gap right here. Sorry if the drawing's a little rough, but should be fine. Anyways, this next candle comes down and actually gives us that inversion. And once we have the inversion off of the lower high we created, that's giving me the confluence to now be bearish and take the short. So we created this bearish fair value gap, as you can see. And obviously, when a solid solid candle closes through a fair value gap like so, that's how it is mitigated. And when the mitigation candle in question is also producing a fair value gap of the opposite nature, in this case, a bearish fair value gap mitigates bullish fair value gaps, that is your inverse fair value gap. And that would be your confluence to essentially take the short. I use the levels as entry models. So the level is my entry, and the fair value gap is what I'm using to actually be my stop loss in this case. And then my take profit could be based on my first DLL, which is that data news move, or data news move. And we also have our London low and our Asia low. Now, spoiler alert, all three of these got hit, and unfortunately, I took the closest one. I just took profit at 90 points. I decided not to get greedy, like I usually do, honestly, but it's okay. Here's the actual trade. Let's place the limit. Sorry if my hand was in my face the whole time. I'm just like focused on the chart. But here's the limit. As you can see, I get filled in the next candle, and it does not take me out. My stop loss was here already, but I'm just setting it now because I had wanted to wait to get filled. So pop it up. Okay. Hopefully it's not too rough. Doesn't need to be exact. But that's essentially the setup that I took, taking the level, stop loss anchored against that fair value gap, take profit based on the CPI move. And you'll see that we do get break even once more right here, but then it pushes off nicely and delivers to that draw of liquidity and lower to those other additional targets that I had planned out. But this delivers me for 8.5 RR, 90 points in profit, aka about 3% across all of my 50K accounts between Top Step and Alpha Futures. But yeah, that was the trade that I took today. Hopefully this breakdown was helpful. Once again, just to kind of summarize it, this was based on the CPI move being my draw of liquidity, creating that volatile, large imbalance that needed to get filled and corrected. And then we also had the inverse fair value gap through the level, and that's kind of between the inverse fair value gap and the level, the three main confluences that I used to make this trade. But I also did wait for us to put in a lower high and make that inversion. I was also waiting for us to take this high out, but when you see something like this, you can't expect us to come up and take this high. A lot of people are, kind of stupid, and they're like, oh, this is resting liquidity that we didn't take. We have to wait for it to take this high. A lot of people are waiting for something that's never going to happen. The market all the time is going to make slightly, lower highs and higher lows, vice versa. And that is exactly what we saw here. So based on us creating the higher low, the inverse fair value gap inversion, below the level, taking that to the CPI draw of liquidity. So that was today's trade broken down for you guys. Hopefully this is helpful. This is something, like I said, we're going to do daily or very often. Let me know if you guys want to see wins only or losses and break-even trades as well, or any more recommendations for the next trade recap. Anything you want me to see, anything you want to see that I didn't do for you today. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful, like I said. And yeah, have a good rest of your guys' day. Peace out. I will see you guys in the next one.